I got that kind of.
Why does Goku revert back to an adult when he ascends to Super Saiyan 4, and why does going back to base form makes him a child again? In this video, I will attempt to give you guys the best possible answer to solve this little mystery. However, before we start, I'll say that I'm not confirming this as the actual reason. I could be wrong and this could be just another one of Dragon Ball GT's plot holes. But I'd like to think there is an actual truth to all of this, as Dragon Ball GT can be quite subtle with its own messages. For example, the ending of GT was actually brilliant and it created an open ending for you, the viewer, to interpret what actually went on. But hey, that's a discussion for another video. So for everyone who either forgot or blindly hates GT that they never really watched it, but are somehow watching this video, Goku does indeed become younger in Dragon Ball GT, which is one of the most criticized elements of the show. However, thankfully enough, he does later on regain his adult form, but only when he's in the Super Saiyan 4 state. So whenever he's knocked out of that state, he immediately reverts back into a child. But why? Many seem to speculate, including myself at one point, that this has to do with Super Saiyan 4 being affiliated with magic, which doesn't really hold up because there is no evidence to suggest that. In fact, the only instance that shows Super Saiyan 4 displaying any sort of magic is in the Super 17 arc. When Goku loses his Super Saiyan form, his clothes are intact despite them being blown off before he went Super Saiyan 4. But to be honest, that could be just an animation error. But it's interesting to note that Goku's attire looks completely different when he goes Super Saiyan 4, as his socks, belt, and wristbands are blue, whereas the wristbands were originally pink. And the belt and the socks were also white. So it's possible that Super Saiyan 4 can help the user manifest their own ki to create new clothes, kind of like Piccolo's clothes beam. So magic is a slight possibility, but like I said, it doesn't really hold up, where magic alone could make Goku momentarily older. In fact, I'm not completely convinced with this, so I dug deeper into the Dragon Ball GT Perfect files. In there, I saw a piece of information that I never really looked too much into, and I kind of dismissed it because the Dragon Ball GT files can be inaccurate at times. But this time it's different, as the Perfect files had a very interesting description of Super Saiyan 4. The GT Perfect file states that Super Saiyan 4, the form which draws out the battle power which Saiyans possesses out to the utmost limits. At first glance, you would really say this is bullshit, because Super Saiyan 4 has been known to be a multiplier throughout the community. So what is this about utmost limit? But then you look at Goku again, and you start to notice what the Super Saiyan 4 actually is. Super Saiyan 4 didn't technically make Goku older, it just reverted him back to his physical prime. This notion or idea is immediately reinforced when you look at Vegeta. Vegeta looks younger and Goku looks older, because Super Saiyan 4 takes a user to their best physical prime. Don't believe me? Just look at Vegeta's hair. Despite being a Saiyan whose hair should never change, in GT Toriyama was the one who designed Vegeta with the mustache and altered his hairstyle, but when Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 4, his hair looks a lot similar to how it was in Dragon Ball Z. Likewise with Goku, his skin tone also becomes lighter despite him being a bit darker in the beginning of GT as both adult and as a kid. But then again, this is just how I view the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. It's really not the fourth stage of Saiyan power. You could really think or look at Super Saiyan 4 as an entirely different method for Saiyan transformation. In fact, as far as GT is concerned, it was labeled as the ultimate Super Saiyan 4 transformation. So it kind of makes sense. Plus, it's really cool that theoretically, if Goku and Vegeta were 200 years old and they go Super Saiyan 4, they could theoretically revert and be young again. But anyways, tell me what you guys think. Do you agree with anything I said? Do you think it's possible that SSJ4 actually reverts the user to their prime? Tell me your own thoughts in the comment section. I really enjoy reading them. But overall, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.